In this video, we're going to talk about how to restore gun rights following a felony conviction here in California. Now, the first thing you want to know is the felony that you're convicted of, is it a wobbler? A wobbler is a crime which, by definition, could be filed as either a felony or a misdemeanor. And examples would include grand theft or commercial burglary. If you're convicted of a felony that is a wobbler, then many times we can go into court and get it reduced to a misdemeanor. It's something that we call a Penal Code 17B motion. Now, oftentimes, if this motion is granted and we do reduce the felony to a misdemeanor, then that alone will restore your gun rights. However, there's an exception, and that is that there's a list of crimes, misdemeanor crimes in California, which even a misdemeanor conviction will trigger a 10-year ban on gun rights. These include most convictions involving domestic violence, as well as criminal threats, stalking, dissuading a witness. So if we reduce your felony to a misdemeanor, but the misdemeanor is still on this list of crimes, then you would have to wait out the 10-year period before your gun rights would be restored. So that's with regard to wobblers. Now let's talk about straight felonies. Straight felonies are felony crimes that can only be filed as a felony. They cannot be reduced to a misdemeanor. This list includes crimes like robbery, residential burglary, and perjury. If it's a straight felony, then a 17B motion is not going to do the trick. So what we have to do is seek a governor's pardon. And usually, if you're successful in getting a governor's pardon, that will restore your gun rights. Now, there's two ways to get a governor's pardon. One is to get a certificate of rehabilitation from the Superior Court, which basically is a document showing that you've been successfully rehabilitated. If we obtain that, then that automatically gets forwarded to the governor's office as a request for a pardon. Then there's certain situations where you're not eligible for a certificate of rehabilitation, and in those cases, we can do a direct application to the governor's office. Now, if you're successful, if the governor grants your pardon, then generally that will restore your gun rights. However, there's an exception there too, and that is if you've ever been convicted of a felony involving the use of a dangerous weapon, then even getting a pardon is not going to restore your gun rights. If you're interested in seeking restoration of your gun rights, we invite you to fill out this form, and you can click on the link on the screen right now. Fill out this form. What we want you to do is tell us all the information. Every criminal conviction that you've suffered, the date of conviction, the crime that it was for, whether it was a felony or a misdemeanor, and the courthouse where it happened. Provide us all of this information. We'll take a look at it, we'll review it, and see if there is a pathway to gun rights restoration. If there is, we'll contact you and we'll be glad to assist you with the process. I hope that the information in this video was helpful to you, and if you'd like a more detailed discussion, we invite you to read the article on our website, and there's a link to it on the screen right now, about restoring gun rights in California.